kind of first off, get comfortable. So you can see, kind of lay on your back and you can see up in there. Because you got
So now, just like all the way under.
Yeah, hang on. Let me give you a light. You see what you're doing? Mm-hmm. Okay, just relax. Don't force it. That's the worst thing is you get all frustrated because your back's kinking. You remember up there, you put you put the hot on the left, so that when you turn your knob, it's going to be right.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's not going to interfere. So I've been just working around the home. I've been gardening, I've been painting, I have been doing some, little home projects around my little cottage. This area that I'm living in used to be a Airbnb rental area. So the owner has a few cottages in the area that he used to rent out. And because of COVID, he decided to put these up for long-term rentals. And so I found this place, which I'm super excited about because I have been very curious about like tiny homes. So I'm testing this lifestyle out to see if it's something that I can do. I didn't want to jump into it and just kind of fantasize and romanticize about this tiny living because, small home, tiny homes are a trend now. And so far I have been loving it. I feel less stress than I ever been. And it's just a nice change. I'm always, up for trying something different, trying something new. And I think that's why I wanted to be out here. I didn't actually plan to be out in Utah. I know that I wanted to have a little change in environment a couple years ago, even before the lockdown, but I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go. And since my son turned 18 years old, he has his own life right now. And so I thought this is the time for me to venture out and try a different environment. So I'm out here in Utah just exploring, and it is absolutely beautiful out here, breathtaking. I mean, I can be in one area where there are rocky terrains and then drive 30 minutes out, and then I'm in a whole new different world where there are trees, and it's so beautiful. I mean, there's just so much to see. I don't know if this is going to be my permanent home. Well, this in particular is not going to be my permanent home, but I do see myself maybe potentially buying land or something like that. Right now, the housing market is just so volatile. I don't want to commit into anything yet until everything kind of slows down. The area where I live, the view isn't great, but I do have some garden boxes in the backyard that I got to, play around with, experiment with gardening, since I've never had a chance to garden before. So I've been spending a lot of time with myself, by myself, me, myself, and I, and it's been great and also pretty challenging. This is definitely a different kind of challenge, and there are times where it gets pretty scary to kind of be alone in your own thoughts and to be in the moment by yourself, because reality seems to shift in a way. It's quite an interesting experience, and I think that something that I haven't been able to do was to focus on my own thoughts and to kind of just be in the moment with myself. I've just been so distracted by fear and distracted by everything else outside of me. And so this is my chance to kind of get to know myself and spend time with myself a little bit more. And my plant medicine journey that I have gone through in the past couple of years, and I could make a separate video on this if you would like to hear more about this. But my plant medicine journey have definitely helped me realize and recognize a lot of things that I have been suppressing and repressing within me. And so a lot of those came to surface, and I've been learning how to process those instead of letting my body just run on this stress and anxiety, because I was holding all this, all this energy within me, all this fear and resentment of things that used to happen and that I've, kind of buried within me. And I think that happens to a lot of us, and we don't realize it because we're always so bombarded with other things, with other distractions, and we just kind of buried it with more and more things that we put into our life. And so I've just been kind of on a cleanse, pretty much, like learning how to reorganize my life and just, bring in what serves me and take out what doesn't serve me anymore. So I've been journaling a lot, and I know that I stopped making journaling videos because I wasn't into bullet journaling anymore. I feel like that was a part of my life that I've kind of grown out of. The doodling process, drawing, that was fun, but now I am more into just writing because I've been channeling in a lot of, and what I mean by channeling is kind of like becoming more in sync with my higher self. I think doodling is a great starting point if you want to get into journaling, and if you want to open up your mind, then you doodle, so that way you can exercise that part of your mind that can connect you to your higher self, your intuition. I've done that, and I feel like I was ready to move on to something different, and so I've been really into digital journaling, which I'm gonna film a video for this right after this one, and it's just, there's so much you can do on here. And the fact that I don't have to go out buy journals, I don't have to buy pens, reduce my waste consumption, and just have everything in here, one cohesive home for all my different types of journals and writings. I can have it on my iPad, which is really fun and just satisfying and just a whole new world of journaling for me. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, is just to connect with myself on an emotional level where I can become more aware and more conscious of how I react to the outside external influences. And through that, it's been helping me a lot to learn more about myself, recognize between my ego and my greater self. And it's just been a lovely journey. I mean, there are times where it's super scary and times where it's just a beautiful part of life. So I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'm going to film my digital journaling video, which I am really, really happy to share with you, and share with you some of my journal entries too. So stay tuned for that. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will talk to you next time. Ciao.